triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Hey yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Running, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention. So no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record. I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming. Had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got it, y'all, but I'ma get it here. Watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? We got an amazing show for you guys tonight as Bitcoin has finally Thank the crypto gods. Thank God Bitcoin has finally gotten a move. And as you guys know, if you've been watching the live streams over the past couple of days, you will know I kind of remained somewhat neutral, just waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. I was in shorts. I was also in longs, just waiting for one of those to get stopped out in profit so I could let those other trades pay out. And we're going to go over the trades today, as I did get stopped out of, obviously, my short, but we got stopped out in profit, making it a winning trade. So I want to go over those with you guys tonight and also talk about where I think Bitcoin is going next. What is that next target? Could we see $67,000 come in here pretty soon for Bitcoin? There are some specific levels I'm looking at. If you guys are looking at the same analysis I am, you will know what level I'm talking about, but I'm going to go over all the key levels tonight with you guys and then talk about the possibility of getting a bigger move to the upside. What levels do we need to clear? And yeah, we'll take a look at the key levels to the downside as well. And as always, we will be taking a look at the altcoins, so stick around after the BTCTA if you want to see your favorite altcoins. And shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. I have a question. Shout out to Tony D. Stupid Bitcoin. We're not mad at all or anything like that, but I'm just curious. We have slow mode on, and somehow Stupid Bitcoin was able to get around that slow mode. How did you do that, bro? Let me know how you were able to do that. I don't know if that's a glitch. He like spammed yo a bunch of times, but slow mode is on, which shouldn't be possible. How did that happen? Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. I had to ask that because I don't know how that is even possible. But anyway, with all that being said, guys, we got an amazing show for you tonight. So don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto on Friday's live stream. So smash that like button. And shout out to Dan Ludwig said, give us the good news. Only up from here, ? Well, maybe we're seeing that fake out on the daily money flow, guys. That's one of the big things I want to look at. But we're going to break it all down on tonight's live stream. So smash up that like button. And let's shout out the Mafia here really quick. Shout out to the Godfather in the chat, dropping that Mrs. Candle's hand emoji. Go ahead and spam those Mrs. Candle's hands emoji if you got them. But shout out to the Godfather. Show him some respect in the chat. We got Wick589, Rob the Crypto Snob, one of our awesome moderators on the channel. Go ahead, that Crypto Anon in here as well, guys. Shout out the mods in the chat. There's the Mrs. Candle's hands. Let's go. We got Pennywise in the chat. We got Blockchain Domain. What is going on, brother? We got Greg in the chat. We got Digital X. What is going on? Cryptic Sniper, Ill Hero, Anna Maria, and shout out to Anna Maria. I think dropped some super chats before. So shout out to Anna Maria, said dump it, hello Mafia, and she also said smash that like button. So shout out to Anna Maria. She said it, not me. You don't want to disappoint Anna Maria, so go ahead and smash that like button. Without further ado, guys, I guess we got to give you something if you're going to hit the like button. So let's go ahead and drop some of that fire Bitcoin sauce. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. And it's up only from here, guys. I'm just kidding. Someone out there may actually, how is slow mode? I think slow mode's joking tonight. It's fine, but that is wild. That is pretty crazy. But anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. Someone out there may take that seriously. I want to be clear. It's not up only, but let's go ahead and break down what we are seeing here. Now, yesterday, if you guys were on the live stream, well, not on the live stream, but if you guys were watching the live stream yesterday, you will know I was talking about how I remained somewhat neutral, right? As we were kind of just sitting around here at the value area low. This was that key level that we needed to remain above in order to see that bigger move to the upside. And then obviously, we also needed to see a crack of this POC in order to get the bigger move through the volume profile. That was the bullish case we were looking at. And yes, this inverse head and shoulders that we were looking at is somewhat completed here with our left shoulder, our head, and our now right shoulder completed here. If you draw that neckline roughly, you can see we are starting to pop out of this formation. Now, as always, I am not trading based off this, but I do use the patterns to, not that you can't trade the patterns, right? I always say this. I have tutorials on the channel if you guys are interested. Super old tutorial. I may redo that tutorial. You can 100% trade patterns, but it's just not something I trade alone. But you guys can check out the channel if you want to see how I personally like to trade the patterns. But as you can see here, we were using this as context and using it as basically our kind of bullish scenario here. If we were to see that right shoulder complete, this would be the break of that neckline. And then typically, a lot of times you will see price kind of break back down to that neckline before getting another big move to the upside. But this was kind of what we were using for our bullish scenario if we were to remain above that value area low, and if we were going to take that measured move and drag it over to the breakout. You guys can see it does give us a measured move of about $74,000. Now, could we be on our way there? I do think it is possible, but we still have some work to do on the daily time frame. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Again, if you've been watching the show for a while now, you will know we are looking at this daily money flow crossing over into the red, as obviously binarily this would be a bearish signal, but we understand where we are in the cycle, and we also compared this to the past, showing that typically at this point in the cycle, actually pull up the cycle chart. Once we got that halving in May 2020, obviously we kind of went sideways, and we had money flow coming out not only on the 2-day, but also on the daily time frame. And typically, guys, we do not spend too much time in the red after the halving, at least as far as the money flow goes on Market Cipher B. So with that being said, we kind of just extrapolated that information and said, hey, if we are going to see a move up here, or if we are going to see money flow crossover into the red here, we have to understand that although it is in the red, we may be at risk, or not at risk, but there may be a possibility of not really hanging down here for very long. However, with that being said, we are still technically in the red, but I actually, I think it was it Stupid Bitcoin? I don't forget who said it, but they were saying, I don't hate the way that daily money flow is aggressively coming back to the upside, and I would have to agree with you. As we see this money flow kind of scoot back up here, obviously we didn't really get a fake out. I kind of describe these fake outs as something like this, where you kind of just barely go into the red and then right back into the green. But nonetheless, it is somewhat likely to spend very little time in the red here if we are going to see that next leg up, which we know is somewhat typical at this point in the cycle. But it's also important to remember that history does not always repeat itself, but it does oftentimes rhyme. So that is kind of where my sentiment was off this money flow crossover into the red. And we do still have a little bit of work to do. And let me actually go ahead and scoot this back just a little bit because I need to populate this old POC that we were looking at. I actually just updated this range. So let me actually just bring this back to this previous volume profile. Go ahead and scoot this back up, readjust. And this actually was technically the level that we were looking at on yesterday's live stream, and then it moved as I updated the profile. But simply put, guys, we remained above that value area low, and we simply are getting that move towards that POC of the range. And this is basically why I am saying, is 67K incoming? Obviously, we are not far away, but based off the volume profile, this would simply be what we would be expecting, right? Because again, based off the laws of the volume profile, we are simply, let me actually just get rid of this really quickly just to clean up the chart here, and I will just put the box back without the lines. But as you guys can see here, basically the way we trade these volume profiles is we wait for the deviations below, and then this is typically where we're looking for those long positions. And actually did have a long setup here in the premium Discord. I'm going to show some trades in a second, but if we pull that Fibonacci retracement here, actually this was the one we were looking at, we came down, right? Broke above that value area low, lost it one more time. However, remember, this is not where we are getting super bearish, right? Typically, when we fall below that volume profile, granted, this was a pretty big fall, this is typically where we are kind of waiting for a potential signal to go long, and we did wind up getting a move into this 786 retracement level, and we did wind up sticking it, and then at that point, your general plan or your general mission is to get back above that volume profile, or specifically that value area low, and as long as you remain above that level, you can expect price to move towards that POC, which we are definitely on the way to and could potentially be visiting next. So that is just generally the next target I would be looking at, guys. We also do have a daily naked point of control up at about 68,158. So this would kind of be somewhat of a range that I would be looking at right here. Go ahead and change that to shorts. And there you go, right? So this would be generally that next area that I would be looking at or kind of being careful around for a potential pullback. But again, we are now back in our volume profile. So even if we do pull back, we could potentially, especially if you see that money flow coming back up on the daily at that point, if we do wind up pulling back, like even the 16-hour money flow is starting to scoot back to the upside. This is generally what you want to see for that fake out, right? That 12-hour, 16-hour money flow starts crossing back over into the green, probably going to be somewhat likely at that money flow on the daily is going to follow suit. But I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about in a second where I would expect price to retrace to, but with this being said, especially if we see these money flow crossovers specifically on the 12 and the 16 hour as well as the daily, this could potentially, mean that we could at least, if we front run this POC right now and we start pulling back, guys, we could potentially come back, and I'm going to talk about the key level that I'll be looking at for the retracement, but I would potentially be looking for something like this for a higher low to come in to revisit this zone and then eventually flip this to support. And once we flip that daily naked point of control sitting at 68.16, I might have butchered that number at first, but this daily naked point of control at 68.16. Once we flip that to support, this is where we're going to be expecting that value area high and potentially beyond. Obviously, we do have this daily naked point of control up here as well. But just generally playing the volume profiles here, guys. And this was the bullish case that we were looking at yesterday, with the bearish case being a potential money flow or this daily money flow potentially coming deeper into the red for a bigger downtrend, which is generally what you would expect when looking at money flow like this if you didn't understand where we were in the cycle. And to be quite honest with you guys, as much as I'd like to come up here and say, guys, we knew for a fact that that money flow was going to fake out, and again, we are not in the green just yet, so we're not completely out of the woods, but I will say we are starting to take some steps in the right direction. But, I wouldn't really be comfortable calling this a fake out until we actually wind up getting that crossover into the green. Shout out to Dave Digital. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. I didn't see you in here before, Dave. I might have to speak to you after class. I didn't get any late passes. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Dave Digital. He gets unlimited late passes. But anyway, I wouldn't really consider us out of the woods yet here until we finally see that daily money flow crossover. But as much as I would like, if we do get that, as much as I would like to say we 100% knew that was going to happen, that is just simply, it's not true, right? That's why we look at the bearish and the bullish case. We kind of stack the evidence against each other, and then whatever side has more evidence, that's kind of where I lean. But as you guys know, I've been somewhat neutral recently just because of the mixed signals and where we are in the cycle. Things are pretty choppy, but that's where we use these volume profiles to clear up that murky water and give us a better idea of where price is likely to go. Because again, once you start losing this value area low, or I should say, as long as you remain above this value area low, that you could easily or very likely continue back to the upside to fill that entire range, especially when you have that head and shoulders. So with that being said, next target, in my opinion, will likely be that POC of the range if we do continue up. And then again, that key level to flip isn't necessarily just the POC, but definitely that naked point of control up here at 68.16. And then once we flip that, at that point, I would assume that money flow crossover is getting pretty close on the daily, and it may be very likely to get that fake out and a bigger move to the upside. But I want to be clear, although we may be on our way out of the woods, that bear is still kind of running behind us. I actually didn't even mean to say, I don't know why I said bear. It lines up. I didn't mean to do that. But that bear is still kind of like trotting behind us like, I don't know, I'm kind of full, but I'm going to keep chasing you guys out here. So we still got to get out of the woods, but we are getting pretty close. But again, at this point, it's pretty clear. Even if we do get a pull to the downside here, there are, again, two key levels that I'm watching. Number one, the value area low, and the next key level, I'm going to give you guys right now. But you have to smash the like button right now, or we're not giving the level. There's only 149 likes. We got 717 people in the live stream right now. Smash that like button. Let's run it up to 350 likes in the next 30 seconds, and we'll give that key level where you can be looking for a potential pullback and an entry. I'm just kidding, guys. I would never do that. But please, for the love of God, smash that like button. I'm going to give you the key level anyway, but let's go ahead and jump on in here. And for the most part, guys, again, if we do pull back as we are in this volume profile, the key level that I would really like to hold, there are kind of two of them. But number one, just psychologically, we have broken that $64,000 level, obviously. And you can see our golden pocket when pulled from this little impulse from right here. We got that little push to the upside, little pullback. When you pull from this low to the high, you do have a golden pocket retracement level getting very close to $64,000. And this could potentially be the area that I would like to see. Actually, let me pull this a little bit lower right there. Specifically coming in at $63,830, very close to $64,000. This would be where I would assume, right, or where we could potentially assume that a higher low may come in, right? This kind of fulfills two different things, and then I'm going to bring up the trades in just a second. But this would kind of be that next key level of support. If you guys remember yesterday, let me come up to a higher time frame. Yesterday, the key levels of support, or the line in the sand for me to flip a little bit more bearish, were actually this lower Fibonacci retracement zone sitting between right here, right? The 786 golden pocket retracement sitting at 786 sitting at $58,364. Golden pocket coming in at $59,894. This was kind of the key level, right? If we wound up rejecting here and breaking down back towards that golden pocket 786, we needed to get the bounce in this zone. If not, we were likely going to break down to that 51 to 52K zone down here, which is still a valid level of support. But obviously, we have moved up a little bit, so we do have some more cushion on our way as we make our way back into that volume profile. So these levels are still valid, but if we do wind up pulling back here, I would not really be getting nervous until we wind up breaking down below this 786 Fibonacci retracement zone, right? Because if we come down here, this could be a good place to look, not only to put in a higher low on the Fibonacci golden pocket 786 retracement zone, but also this is the value area low of our macro range, right? So what do we always say when we look at the volume profile? Let's break this down really simply. Simply put, you wait for a break into the range, and then sometimes you will come back down and test that value area low before you hit that POC and value area high, right? Because we look for the move into the range and then the flip of support on that value area low, which that 786 is beautifully confluent with right here, coming in at $63,131. Once we lose that, that is kind of where we have to refocus our eyes down. Actually, this would actually move now, which, yeah, if we get that move below this 786, we could potentially look down towards this lower retracement zone, but we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. But for now, this will be the level that I really want to see hold as support if we are going to finally see this move continue through this volume profile. And let me just see something here live with the Mafia here. Yeah, and you can see the neckline of this little head and shoulders, or inverse head and shoulders, I guess technically. That trend line, right? This neckline, I should say, does also pretty much line up beautifully with that golden pocket 786 zone. And if you guys know anything about, basic trading strategies when using patterns, typically you will break out and then oftentimes you will come back down and test that neckline. And we do have some really, really nice confluence there. So this is definitely going to be the key level that I am looking at as kind of the, not line in the sand, but I would be interested if I were not already in longs. I would be interested in potentially, if I was not in a long, looking for an entry here to potentially look to go from the value area low back to the POC and then back over the POC into that value area high. Beautiful, beautiful volume profile trading here. So with that being said, let me go ahead and pull up those trades really quickly for you guys. Bada boom, we'll pull it up right here. Now, as I said, remember, guys, I was in two positions publicly. Yesterday, we were talking about the short from that POC of the range. Obviously, we got that to play out beautifully. I did take profit down here. I moved my stop loss into profit, right? So my stop loss, I believe, is like down right above this high. So once we wound up coming back up, I stopped myself out in, I didn't stop myself out, but I stopped out in profit here, making that a winning trade. And then simply put, the longs are continuing to pay me out. If you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time in the past couple of weeks, you will know that's kind of I always leave you guys kind of with my plan and how I'm handling things. And as I was short from that POC, I kind of end the streams with like, hey, if we get the move up, I'll stop out in profit on that short, make some money, and then the longs will continue to pay me out, and that is the exact situation that we are in right now. And I figure the more I can share with you guys what exactly I am doing and how exactly I am handling the price action, you guys can kind of get some insight into maybe not what you should do, but I just figure it can help. Obviously, never financial advice. But let's go ahead and pull up these trades. Or this trade, I should say. Let me pull up OBS so I can make sure you guys can see. Okay, perfect. So there you go. This is a long position that actually it is on lower leverage. It's on 6x leverage, up about 36% or $2,500. Actually, it's like an easier way so you guys can see it better. But yeah, up about $2,500. Have not taken profit on this just yet. But let me see where this entry is. Bada boom. I don't know why it doesn't say my entry there. But right here, $62,073. Bada boom. So yeah, let me go ahead and just pull up TradingView one more time. 62,000. Let me go ahead and pull up the actual long. Bada boom. 62,000. 72, right there, right? So this is a simple volume profile trade. Now, to be honest with you guys, this is actually a trade that I probably would have, if I didn't have so much going on. I actually thought I thought I had gotten stopped out of that position until I opened up my Femex, and turns out that I was not stopped out. And over the weekend, we actually pulled back a little bit, and when I checked back in on Femex, I was in the green, and I was like, oh my God, this trade might have been in the red. So if you're out there, guys, and you trade on multiple accounts, please, for the love of God, if you are a busy person like I am, make sure that you pay attention to all your open positions, because if you guys follow along, there have been a few times where I have found like these phantom trades, right? Phantom, or these trades that I forgot I was in, or maybe I had a take profit set and it didn't hit or something like that. Just make sure you're on top of your positions. But nonetheless, this position is up, again, $2,500, 36%, not too shabby. But I will be holding this in anticipation of making it up to that POC and potentially up to that value area high. And again, this is part of why we do not get super bearish as we lose these value area lows. I will be honest, this is somewhat different, right? This big dump to the downside is again, not getting super bearish, definitely not entering shorts on that move down, but simply put, this is where we look for longs, right? And, as you deviate below here, you're not thinking, oh my God, we're going to zero, but we saw this head and shoulders, right? Inverse head and shoulders. And this is where you are simply looking at this price as undervalued, right? This is an undervalued asset, as this inside the value area is a fair price for Bitcoin, right? This is kind of how you want to think about it. You have your fair value within the volume profile, and then as you deviate, you could kind of think of this as oversold. And then as you deviate above your volume profile, you want to think of this as overbought. And this is simply, right now, I don't know for a fact if we are going to continue up here. But let's imagine, right, and I think this will connect to a lot of people. Let's imagine that price winds up yeeting back over this POC and we wind up getting a big move up to all-time highs. And let's just pretend we go up to 80K, right? I'm not calling for this. I'm just saying, for example, this will help out a lot of people if you're trying to learn how to trade. If we yeet up all the way to 80K, this is where, people will say to me, oh my God, Frankie, how did you long the bottom? You're always long from the bottom, right? A lot of people said that about my position down here that I am still holding, right? So it's not just this long position. This is not all the trades I'm in. These are just the ones on Femex that I've shown. Shout out to Femex. If you guys want to sign up for our Femex Pulse group and you want to earn free Femex token, or if you just want to sign up and potentially get some free bonus trading funds, you can check our link out in the description down below to sign up for Femex and trade your favorite altcoins or Bitcoin with or without leverage. But, this is oftentimes where people are like, how do you snipe the bottom, man? And I mean, I guess technically the bottom would be here. But simply put, guys, yesterday, we weren't saying like, hey, we're in a long position, this is definitely the bottom, right? Because there's no way to know that. Nobody knows that, right? If you're listening to someone who says they know, please, for the love of God, run the opposite way. But this is, we always have an if this, then that statement. And the reality is this is how trading works. This is not it's less about, and I said this yesterday on the live stream, I say it oftentimes, trading is not about finding the bottom and longing it and hoping that you hit that big move. That is not what trading is. That is actually called gambling, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it is simply not trading. I like to treat my trading as a business, it's not about sniping that actual bottom and then looking for that bigger move. It's about finding the bullish and the bearish case, weighing the probabilities, and then managing your risk. And with the volume profiles, simply put, what we like to do is we like to look at these as little singles, right? Little singles and doubles, because we know they're high probability when you go above that value area low that you're at least going to get to the POC or the value area low. I'm sorry, when you deviate above this value area high, you are at least expecting to come down to that POC, if not that value area low, making for a pretty decent trade here. And then the same thing with the way up. If you deviate below that value area low, back to the POC is likely, and then back to the value area high is also likely. So we have single, right, single, double. You get these singles and doubles within the range, and then even if you just wind up coming to this value area high and we take profit and then get stopped out in profit, it's another single. But if we get the big breakout, we're going to be up like 5, 10K, and it's not because it's not. I'm never, ever in my life ever going to come up here and pretend that I knew this was the bottom. And, sometimes we think it's the bottom, right? But if you want to be successful at trading, the first thing you have to understand is you do not know what is going to happen next. And you never will. It doesn't matter how good you are at analysis or how good you think somebody is at analysis. you're never going to be able to do that. Trust me. It's just not how it works. It's all about weighing the probabilities and managing the risk. And then when you get that big move up, you want to let those grand slam trades almost hit you by surprise, right? And same thing with this, right? I was simply looking at this as a trade to get above the value area low, up into the value area high. And then as we were holding it, we got the breakout. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, look at that. We're long from all the way at 40K. And now we're sitting here at, 65K, whatever, 66K. So you got to let those grand slams hit you by surprise, because it is not about sniping the bottom and trying to catch that next big move. And then once you understand that, you'll actually start seeing the market more in terms of all the opportunity you have to make money, right? Sure, it would be amazing, right? Like, sure, I'm happy I'm long from 40K, but I would be lying to you if I said I'm longing 40K up until 80K, right? Like, we don't try to guess those big moves, right? Now, maybe I buy a little bit on spot. Maybe I pick up some altcoins here because obviously in the grand scheme of things, I do believe that we are on the cusp of a parabolic bull run incoming. But I treat the spot trades much differently. When I'm leverage trading, this is my earned income, right? This is the income that I have to work for. Trading is not passive income, right? Trading is very, very active income. And this is basically my 9 to 5 is trading, right? And then, sure, you have back ends of, YouTube and stuff like that, which I guess you could consider somewhat passive. But I mean, if you don't stream, you don't get ad revenue or anything. But this is definitely earned income. And when you start looking at it like that and you stop trying to snipe the bottoms, this is how everybody loses tons of money, right? Because you think you're going up and then eventually you come down, you get scared. You're like, oh my God, it's not the big move. Is it the big move? And then it pumps up. You're all wishy-washy all over the place, or flopping and groping, as Crypto Face would say. But simply put here, guys, when you start looking at this as, just all you need to make money trading are these moves. It doesn't need to be the next big move, right? You can make a ton of money on this move, just like you can make a ton of money on this move. Just like you can make a ton of money on that little red candle right there, or these 3 little green candles right here, or this little pump right here. And it all depends on context, right? You could be trading the lower time frames. We're on the 4-hour right now, but you could be trading the smaller time frames, and this could look like a pretty significant move, and you can make money on that, right? And that is how trading works, right? When I'm day trading, I'm not trying to snipe that next big gigantic move to the upside. Sometimes we wind up getting them at the bottom, and we do hold them longer, but it is not about trying to find that. And I please, for the love of God, take that and try to bring that home with you, because it's going to help a lot of people make more money trading. You have to separate your long-term investments from your trading. So with that being said, that's what we're looking at, right? Like pretty good news, right? We were looking at the bullish and the bearish case. Obviously, the bullish case is playing out. Key level right here, just for anybody who might be listening or you're just tuning in for the levels, 63,930 to 63,187 are those key levels that I am looking at in order to potentially maybe even look to add to my long, or if I were not in a long, I would be looking for a potential entry down there. Now, obviously, you could hit a little bit more of a local retracement potentially, but that would be the major retracement that I would be looking at, especially with the context of the value area low, or the macro value area low being in perfect line with that 786. So it would make sense. Just like back here, what were we just looking at? Where were we? Yeah, like right here, right? You deviate from the low. You get the move up to that POC, and then everyone's going like, oh my God, we're going to zero. But we were just coming down to test that value area low as support, and then finally you get the move up to the value area high. More often than not, you will see that range fill, but you have to understand that price action is somewhat ugly and confusing and scary. But once you know how to read the charts and you understand the key levels, you will know where price is likely to pull back to, and if you should be looking for a confirmation. And we teach this every single weekday for 100% free right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. But like even here, very similar situation, right? You get the deviation from the low, move to the POC, and then as we came back down to that value area low, you're not necessarily getting bearish because you know that this zone here, this golden pocket 786, is a high probability zone to what? Shout out to Creighton C. Let me know. Creighton, I know you know the answer to this question. You were looking for a move below the value area low. You reject the POC, and you're not getting bearish here. Why? Because you know it's likely to what? Exactly. Shout out to Creighton C. Put that higher low in on that Fibonacci retracement before continuing back up to put in a higher high. And there it is. And it's very, very similar to what we're seeing right now. I mean, I'm not saying it's definitely going to play out, but if we do come down there, I'm not instantly going to get bearish, right? I'm going to say, hey, well, let me actually get rid of the that actual level. If we do come down here, right, let's say we do shoot up to that POC and reject, we're not automatically getting bearish here, we are looking at this as a potentially high probability place to put in that higher low and continue that uptrend to fill in that entire volume profile. And then once you start rejecting out of here, that's where kind of maybe if you're not getting bullish confirmations, that's maybe where you're going to get a little bit of a bigger breakdown, which again, remember, depending on how high we come up here, we could potentially still look at this lower Fibonacci retracement zone, but we're a little far away from that, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Adil. What is going on, bro? Thank you for that super chat. I'm going to get to the super chats in just a second, guys. He says, Fib pulled from April 22nd down to the May 1st and extend right is the golden pocket and same spot as the value area low. P.S. What indicator do you use on TradingView for daily, weekly naked points of control? Shout out to Adil. I hope I say you're someone I shout out a lot, Adil. Hopefully I say your name right. But there we go. Shout out to Dave Digital spam and value area low. But if we simply put, where I find these daily naked points of control, I do like to get. I prefer to get my levels from exo charts, right? Right, I like to get these over from exo charts. This is typically where I get my daily naked points of control from. There we go, right? So we have our daily naked points of control here. However, those naked points of controls that we're looking at, I believe, were from TradingView, and I like to use the periodic volume profile for that, or the session volume profile you could use as well. But Adil, shout out to Tony D. If you can drop I don't know if you're going to be able to find it, but if you could drop the video where I show exactly how we get these naked points of control on TradingView, I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, I use the periodic volume profile, right? So if I just click over here, basically what this is it gives you a volume profile, if it'll load. It gives you a volume profile, right? If you reset this to default settings, basically what this does is it gives you a volume profile based on the period that you set. So this is set to give you a new volume profile based off just one bar, right? So if I'm on the daily, I will have one volume profile on each daily candle, right? And then within those little profile, if I zoom in enough here, you can see that each candle has its own little volume profile, and all of these have POCs, right? So what I do, I'll just give it all away here. Extend that to the right, and then you get those naked points of control, right? And then as you come up here, right, here we have a daily naked point of control, which is the one that we have marked on the chart. And then once you wind up hitting that, it will disappear, right? So it's kind of nice because it kind of just does it all for you. If I come back in time here, right, you have a daily naked point of control sitting right up here. It's not going to work in VAR replay mode, but I wish that would work, but simply put, all the ones that are extended to the right here are naked, right? And once it's tapped, it will disappear. You can see once it's tapped, it kind of just cuts it off. So that's a quick little explainer on how I do it. Yeah, just check out the tutorial if you want more detail on that. And then shout out to Creighton, said add to the long. I like it. Want to do a little double down, Frankie? Yo, shout out to Creighton. A little double down. Give the market maker the old motorboat. Oh, and POC. Yeah, shout out to Creighton C. Always getting those questions right. And there you go. Thank you, Rob, for dropping that video in the chat. I appreciate that. And Adil, you could click that link if you want more information on those naked points of control. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. I think that is just about it on Bitcoin. Pretty nice here. If we do, I guess the plan here now is if we continue up, my longs will continue to pay me out. But as of right now, if we continue up here, this is the next key level of resistance, and I do not necessarily love to take shorts at the middle of a range, even though we did it back here. That was the short that got stopped out in profit. But if you pull your fib from this high all the way to the low, you guys can see there is a golden pocket sitting here, right? So because of that, if I get bearish confirmations, I may look for scalp shorts off of this. But again, we are in the middle of the range, right? So if we did catch a scalp short here and we came down, I'm not looking to hold that to zero, right? I would be taking profit, right? And then I wouldn't be looking to hold a moon bag, or maybe you look to hold a moon bag once you get down to the low here. But once you break down and reject, that is where that little trade may wind up turning into a grand slam. But you have to protect yourself because we do not know if you do reject here, even if it comes down here. It's going to get scary. It's going to be like, oh my God, is it going to zero? Should I hold the short? Oh my God. And the easiest way to combat that, guys, is to take partial profits, right? Move your stop loss to your entry. And then if you get the bigger breakdown, simply simply put, I'll be in the flipped position here that we were on the way up, and I will simply stop out of my long in profit, and then the short will continue to pay me out. And when you start trading like that, it does start to feel like cheating. Because yesterday it was like, I don't really care what happens. If we pump, I'll stop out in the short, stop out of the short in profit, and the long will pay me out. And then now, if we wind up dumping, I'm not in a short, but if I took a short from up in this zone here, I would just treat it the same. Stop out of the long in profit, and then the short will continue to pay us out. But as long as we remain above this blue box, I will potentially be looking for that POC and value area high to come in. Simple volume profile trading. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, let me actually pull up the shout out to Rob the Crypto Stop said there is more liquidity sitting at $67,000. And for that, thank you for reminding me about that, Rob. Let me go ahead and pull up that liquidation heat map. Let me update it real quick. We'll go to the 1 month and run it. And I'll take a sip of that Aztec King Cactus Moss Water. Of course, this is broken. Let me go ahead and reload that. Bada boom, bada bing. Come on over to High Block. Open up that heat map. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. There we go. Pull up that 1 month. Bada boom, and we'll check out where that liquidity is. If you guys are looking to learn a little bit about what we're looking at here, actually last night on the live stream, we went over it pretty in depth. But let me go ahead and, yeah. So as you can see here, right, I could even come on over to like the 3 month just to get a little more of a zoomed out view. So there we go, right? Let's just zoom in here. Pretty decent amount of liquidity, not only sitting at 67K, which I guess I will have to go down to the lower time frame to look at. But again, like, what are we looking at here? This is typically where you see, this is typically what you'll see when price is range bound, right? We have a lot of liquidity at the high, and we also still have a ton of liquidity down below, right? Now, it doesn't guarantee that we're going to come down and take that liquidity, but we do still have it here, right? And we are, this is basically what puts Bitcoin in a range, right? You come up, grab the liquidity, come back down, grab the liquidity. On the way down, you create more liquidity above, and then that's oftentimes where you'll see this little range-bound price action. But you know, hot spots of liquidity definitely remain above the highs here, and then obviously above the below the lows here at 56.6, and you can see that represented by these big green bars. And if I pull up the 1 month chart here, let's go ahead, and you can see we actually do locally have a whole lot of liquidity sitting up here around 68.5, all the way down to, like, I mean, we're basically digging into that right now, right? So if we keep pushing up in here, guys, it's kind of nice, right? Because what is this? 71.2, right, is kind of where that liquidity starts to fall off. 71.2, 71.3. Pull back up the chart here. Where 71.2, 71.3, right? Right at this value area high. So if we know that there's a lot of liquidity up here, right, this is going to assist us in getting that move up to that value area high, because that liquidity is simply just liquidation levels and stop losses sitting in the market, making it very likely that once we start hitting those levels, we will start to stop people out. And what happens when you get stopped out of a short position? Yes, exactly, Creighton C. It causes market buy orders, right? Which is what gives you that push to the upside. So that liquidity sitting in this zone could potentially help us get to that value area low. But in that same regard, if I pull up that heat map one more time, in that same regard, guys, you have to understand there is still liquidity down here, right? It's actually more visible on the 3 month chart. So in that same regard here, obviously, you know, we'd have to come down a bit more to actually hit this. But if you start breaking that $57,000 zone, I will say this, right? It's very, very similar, or it's very close to the level that we're already looking at, right? 58 to 57K. Understand, right? I wish I could, like, split screen this somehow. Maybe I can. Hang on. Can I, like, drag this out? Oh, my God, I can. Oh, my God, this is beautiful. I can't believe this just happened. Okay. So let me actually side-by-side this for you guys, right? Because this will make sense for you. Let me zoom out here a bit, right? Okay, so right here, this is 50, I would call it between 58 and 57K, really closer to $57,000. If you start to break down below $57,000, what can we say to ourselves if we know that there is liquidity sitting right here, this hot spot of liquidity? This is likely, if we tap into this, going to cause a lot of liquidations to push us deeper down. This is why, if we lose this key level, which is the 786, and we start dipping below 57, bada boom, right? We do this. We know all that liquidity is sitting here, right? And if we pull it back up, where does that liquidity stop? Where does that liquidity stop? Right at about 50K, I mean closer to 49K. But what would that do? You push into here, causes a lot of selling pressure. We get a big liquidation wick. right? And then it stops basically right at our next key level. So we start tapping into those liquidations. This is why this is such a key level, because if you break it, you're going to start getting that added sell pressure from the liquidations pushing you down to our next key level. And then those liquidations basically stop right below this range. So that is where that bearish scenario came from. And for some reason, if we do wind up getting some crazy nuke down here, that is still in play. That liquidity will live down there, not forever, but it could still be down there for a long period of time. So, and that's, kind of another little lesson on liquidity. Hopefully that helps you guys understand that. Hit me with a sauce can or a hashtag value in the chat if you guys understood that, or if it helps you out in any way, shape, or form. Smash that like button. We're going for 750 likes. If we get 1,000 likes, which I don't know if it's possible. We'd have to get people to cycle. Everyone has to hit the like button. If we get more likes than we have viewers, I'll give away $150 in XRP. 150, not 100, 150. We upped it $50 from last time. But there you go. So, you have to understand how that liquidity works, right? So if we push up above this, we know we could cause a big move to the upside, and then we're not really at danger of that happening until on the bearish end of things, until we break that $57,000 level. So these are key levels, guys. We're giving away the secret sauce on the live stream tonight. So smash up that like button for your boy. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to the Mafia. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Greg, said, so you're saying we're going to cry soon. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get a money flow fake out on the daily and we don't ever have to go revisit that liquidity, right? This is another mistake I think a lot of people make, is they think because there's liquidity, it has to get swept. I see this a lot on Forex. Like a lot of the Forex gurus will be like they always talk about oh, there's liquidity, or I see people do it in crypto too. There's liquidity above here. It has to get taken. It's not necessarily true, right? Not all liquidity is going to get taken. So, people close their positions, right? So, people who are massively in profit, right now, we probably do. I could check. We probably do have a significant amount of liquidity if I pull up a higher time frame, pull up the 6 month, right? I'm long from 40K, right? Now, look at all this liquidity down here at 35K, right? If Bitcoin gets a money flow fake out and we break all-time highs and we are going to that parabolic bull run that everybody is expecting, chances of us coming back down to 35K are very low. Just because there's liquidity down here does not mean it's going to get visited. And understand that liquidity will not live there forever. Why? Well, simply put, right, at this point, my stop loss is not down here, right? My stop loss is not in this pocket of liquidity anymore. But think about it like this, guys. This is the sauce. This might be going, I don't know. This is a lot of people charge for this. But I'll just tell you right now, right? If I'm in a long position here and my stop loss is down here, right? And I come up and I start taking a lot of people, right? A lot of this liquidity, especially if it's higher leverage, right? These are higher leverage liquidation levels, which you might be asking yourself, Frank, because obviously, guys, if you're let me explain something real quick. If you are in a long position, right? This is your long position, and let's just pretend that this stop loss is your liquidation level. If you are using 25x leverage, which I will be honest, in crypto, people just prefer. I don't know if crypto is just a degenerate space, but crypto people like to use higher leverage. 25x, 50x, 100x, right? Typically people in crypto are they're going for that big move, right? I don't recommend that. It's actually a losing strategy. Please don't do that. I don't recommend it. Not financial advice, right? But if you're using 25x leverage, right, maybe your liquidation level is sitting here. Right? Or let's say you're using 25x leverage. Maybe your liquidation level is sitting here, right? That's somewhat low leverage, right? In crypto, or at least compared to 50 and 100x. If you're using 50x leverage, your stop loss, your liquidation level is going to be higher, right? Meaning price doesn't have to go as far against you to get liquidated, right? The lower the leverage, the further away your liquidation level. I know a lot of you guys know this, but for anybody new, this is important, right? 100x, basically, your liquidation level is right by your entry, right? All price has to, if you're using 100x leverage, price needs to just go straight up, right? Or straight down if you're in a short. But then if price just goes, you just get liquidated instantly, right? So this is why I always say don't use 100x leverage, right? It's very likely that price is going to wiggle around and liquidate you if you're using 100x leverage. And if you are using 100x leverage, you gotta get in and take profit and move your stop loss to break even so you don't lose all your money. But Frankie, why are you telling us this other than just the general knowledge? Well, we can, if we pull up the liquidation heat map, the whole point of this is to show you this liquidity is not going to live down here forever. Because if let's say all this liquidity right here is the 100x liquidity, right? Once these guys are in profit, like a lot of these people are going to take profit, maybe even close their whole position, leaving less liquidity down here. And, maybe these liquidation levels down here are from people using lower leverage, right? Because the 100x leverage is going to be really close to their entry if you were long in right here. 50x leverage is maybe down here, right? Not exactly. I'm giving like general theory here. And then, lower leverage liquidation levels are going to be sitting way lower below that entry, right? Maybe down here. But a lot of these people are probably taking profit or maybe even closing their closing their trades, right? They might make this big move and be like, I'm out. That's all I want, right? So that liquidity is slowly going to go away over time as those positions start to close. The only liquidity left down there are the people who have the cojones to hold that position maybe through the whole bull run, right? But other than that, as people close their positions, those stop losses and liquidation levels are going to disappear, meaning the liquidity leaves, right? Making it less of an interesting place for price to go. So it's not just like wherever liquidity is, price has to go down there. I think a lot of people look at it that way. I've heard people teach it that way, and that's just simply not true, right? Like, that's not how it works. Like, sure, maybe it's more likely to go get that liquidity. And again, 55, right below that $57,000 level, we have a lot of liquidity, but it doesn't just mean that we're definitely going to go grab that, right? It's just simply not how it works. When you fully understand how these things function, you start to understand what moves the market and like why these things are true, right? So there you go, a little bit of educational sauce for the Mafia here on the live stream. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, guys. So that's the key level. Do not break this level, or it's going to zero. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these altcoins. Shout out to Greg. Says, Greg hands Frankie Candles my money. Here you go. Go make green babies for me. Shout out to Greg. By the way, speaking of that, guys, if you're getting reached out to by any account with my name, using my name or my picture, and they're asking you for money or saying they're going to trade for you, they are scammers. They are not me. I will never trade for you. I will never take money from you. Unless you buy something from us, but I will never hit you up and ask for money. If anyone is talking to you saying, hey, buy this, or I will never, that will never be me, right? The only way you'll know it's me is if I am trying to give you something. But even then, be careful. There's a lot of scammers out there, and they might be like, hey, they might give you something malicious, right? So I will never, ever, ever take your money or ask for your money or a seed phrase or a login. I will never trade for you. Some people say, hey, Frankie, was that you? You told me to give you my exchange login so you can trade for me. I won't even do that for my family, right? Because it's just too risky, right? Even me, guys, I'm not looking to trading is risky no matter how good you are at it, right? It's also funny, right? Like, people always say, like, no one really ever says this to us, but I see, like, just in the trading space in general, a lot of people are like, they hate when people try to, when YouTubers or influencers or, like, people who trade publicly try to make money in any other way, shape, or form. Obviously, we have the YouTube channel, we have the Discord, we expand our business, but a lot of people, again, they don't say it to us, but I see a lot of people, like, throw shade, like, oh, like, if you're trading, why are you trying to make money doing this? And the simple answer to that, guys, is trading is risky, right? Like, diversifying your income is simply just a smart idea. It's not just like, because that just goes to show you the twisted perspective that people have on trading. They just think it's like a money glitch. And although when you figure it out, sometimes it can feel like that, you know that that's just a temporary feeling, and sometimes the market will just humble you out of nowhere, no matter how experienced you are. So it's just like trading is a risky thing. So I just always think it's funny. People are like, why do you sell merch if you make money trading? And it's like, because trading money is not guaranteed. It's still very, very risky, right? Expanding your income is a smart thing for not only people like me to do, but people like you guys to do. Even if you become, profitable and you're a full-time trader, not a bad idea to still have investments in the stock market, less risky than crypto. Invest your profits in real estate, separate from crypto. I'm not saying crypto is going to disappear, but God forbid something did happen. At least all your money's not in one place and not only reliant on one thing, right? Regulation, right? There's a lot of things, not even just leverage trading, but just crypto in general, right? Like, you want to diversify your money in all ways, shapes, and forms. Something else I'm very interested in, just like business and money management in general. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, Frankie, except for me, right? You showed me. We're up 6K. Remember that I sent you another 18K? Remember? Shout out to Dave. Send me another 30K, Dave. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Dave Digital. Oh, God, you guys are funny. All right, let's go ahead and check those super chats. Let's go ahead and jump into them and spam your favorite altcoins, guys, if you want to see your favorite altcoins. Drop them in the chat. Rob the Crypto Stomp account with the votes and let us know which ones we're looking at. Let's go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Says, Dave's in trouble. Go to your room, Dave. Do you smell that, Frankie? Smells like free money. Shout out to Creighton C. Dave Digital. I hope this is a response to Creighton. Shout out to Dave. Said, no special treatment. When I'm late, I do laps too. Shout out to Dave. That's a good leader right there. Shout out to Dave Digital. Creighton C. Let's go. Yo, you guys are blessing me today. I appreciate you guys. Creighton says, is there a weekly above the golden pocket as well? I know the daily naked point of control got wrecked, but could the weekly also act as confluence to the golden pocket? Is there a weekly above the golden pocket? I assume. Creighton, just answer me very simply. The lower golden pocket, or are you talking about this higher golden pocket? I know this isn't pulled perfectly. Are you talking about a weekly up in here by the POC or a weekly down here near the lower golden pocket? Let me know. And I will be happy to answer you. Shout out to Crane C. Thank you for the super chat. Adil, we already talked to, we looked at this. Shout out to Adil. We read that one. Creighton C says, we read that one. Let's see. Shout out to Mojib. Thank you for the super chat. Says Slug Lord on ETH. I don't know what that is, but shout out to Mojib. Appreciate the super chat. I can try to find a chart for it. Sounds like a meme coin, so we might not be able to find a chart for it, but if I can, I'll be happy to look at it for you. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. If you give me more information, I can try to look at it for you. Let's see. And shout out to Malvin. Said, yo, Frankie, can we take a look at Arweave, please? Yes. And with that being said, lower golden pocket. Okay. Is there a weekly naked point of control or a weekly horizontal? There is a weekly horizontal, meaning just a typical weekly level of support here. All right. So actually, we'll label this. Bada boom. So there is a weekly level right there, Creighton, at 61,428, right above that golden pocket. Is it a naked point of control? We do not have a weekly. We do not have a weekly naked point of control there, but we do have a weekly horizontal, 61,428. I'll even shout out to Creighton. I will even. I got too many exo charts tabs open. Okay. I will even check exo charts for you. Bada boom. And drop those altcoins, guys. We'll start off with Ethereum and Arweave. And then, Rob, let's do like 3 requests. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, the greatest altcoin vote counter on Earth. All right, let's see here. Yes, so create no weekly nakeds up until, even on exo charts, up until 72.5, 77, technically. So there we go. Shout out to Isidore. Thank you for the super chat. Said, fear of risk. Wife invested per my gains. She 2x'd. Shout out to Isidore. Shout out to your wife for the 2x gains. I don't really know exactly what you mean by that. Invested per my gains. I don't know. Shout out to Isidore, though. But thank you for the super chat, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's see. Solana. Bada boom, bada boom. Okay. Let's go ahead and start off with Ethereum, or Ethereum as your grandmother might call it. Bada boom, bada bing. And here we go. Here we go. And we're off. That daily naked point of control came in clutch, baby. Came in clutch. I will be honest. Not really amazing confluence here, right? At least for the move up. There was not major confluence here for a move up. But we got it, right? Just because there was not a ton of confluence doesn't mean you can't get a move. But, I mean, we did get, it's like the slightest bull divs here into that daily naked point of control. But as you guys know, as we looked at Ethereum yesterday, this blue box was a purple box, meaning resistance. And that was the level that we needed to get above, right? This 786 at 29.65 was the level we needed to get above in order to make it to that PLC. And now, really technically, this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Because the POC and the value area low are so close to each other, sometimes you guys will see a volume profile that has, oftentimes the POC is in the middle of the range, right? But sometimes it is a little closer to one end of the range, right? You can see close confluence down here with the POC value area low, and then you kind of have a big gap up to the high. When you see a situation like this, or when I see a situation like this is why we labeled this key yesterday, because typically, just textbook, once you flip that value area low to support, that's where I look for the move to the POC and the value area high. So typically that value area low is the doorway to higher prices, meaning that value area high. But with the POC so close, even if we broke above that 786, you have that POC right above you, right? So that's why we made this the key level rather than the value area low, right? I like to explain things in detail here, right? So people understand, because sometimes certain things will contradict themselves, right? It's like, well, I thought the value area low is the key level we have to flip. Correct, right? But not in all cases, right? People always tell me, what do you look at to enter a trade? Sometimes it's a bull div with money flow coming up. Sometimes it's a Lux Algo Smart Trail Fibonacci confluence, right? Sometimes it's order flow. Sometimes it's a swing failure pattern. It's not as easy as a yes or no answer, a 1 or a 2. It is typically a more of a gradient, right, or a scale. And everything is different depending on the context of the trade. So that is why we were looking at this as the key level. And here we are, simply above that POC. As long as we could hold above this POC, we could potentially see the move up to that daily. Now, the other thing about Ethereum here, guys, is remember, we also looked at this yesterday, right? Just because we got this little move up does not mean that we're completely out of the woods just yet. And I do want to point out that other than this daily at 27.85, if we lose these lows, just like on Bitcoin, understand it's not as ugly in my opinion. But if we do lose these lows, right, could cause a move through this gap. And honestly, the next significant level of support doesn't come in until this daily, supported by this higher volume chunk at 26.42, right? So a little bit of a gap here, right? You want to be careful of that. Makes these lows very important to hold. So with that being said, simply put, looking at this in the context of the volume profiles, bada boom, bada bing. And I will just adjust this slightly. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So yeah, once you get above here, we start moving up. I will be targeting potentially this golden pocket value area high confluence with that daily sitting right here at 31.37. Can we see Ethereum break into the 3,000s soon? Potentially. We got to break these highs though. All right, let's see. Let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see. Can we hold the 66K as support? Come on, BTC. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, let's go. Hopefully we can. But again, if we start breaking down, I'm not really going to get too worried until we start losing the, at least on Bitcoin, until we start losing this blue box. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Dewey. Says, simply put, do not pull your fib in public. Trust me, guys. They will call the cops. Anyway, shout out to Dave Digital. Says, should we assume you're not being honest unless you say, I'm going to be honest? Shout out to Dave Digital. Yes. I don't know. Shout out to Dave. To be honest, no. I don't know. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Shout out to Tony D says, please direct our audience to the poll. Attention, CandleMafia. Please direct your attention towards the poll at the top of the chat. And it says, can you smash the like button for Tony D? Fine, just because it's Tony. Who wouldn't? He's so handsome. Shout out to Tony D. Who in the world is Tony D? I don't trust that button. Shout out to Tony D. Smash that like button. We're going for 750 likes, guys. We get 750 likes. We're giving away $150 in XRP. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. We got our altcoins up here right now. Let's go ahead and check out Arweave. Bada boom. I believe this is Arweave, right? Yeah, okay. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's check it out. I don't know if we have an Arweave chart. I don't think we do. Bybit, KuCoin. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Mrs. Candles just comes in lurking. Don't play around with. Hey, get away from those wires, Mrs. Candles. Guys, she's trying to shut us down. She's trying to take the phone, guys. She's stealing my seed phrases. Mrs. Candles, give it back. Oh, my God. But she's just quick paying herself. Mrs. Candles, what are you doing? I like your Rolling Stones shirt. Show some hand at least. If you're gonna take my phone, at least show some hand, Mrs. Candles. Wait, hang on, I don't know if they can see that. You gotta go further. Oh, there's the fingertips. Shout out. Oh, she said that's all you get. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Tony D said, I'll add 100 in XRP if we hit 750. Shout out to Tony D. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here. Is everything okay, Mrs. Candles? Are you should I be concerned? Are you stealing all my money right now? She said, heck yeah. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's see. Okay. So, let's pull up the VPVR. See what we got going on. Pull from the high to the low. This is 100% a key level. Look at the gap down below. You do have a low volume gap. I'll even highlight it with a box, right? Once you lose these lows, you do have a low volume gap. Are you okay, Mrs. Candles? What were you doing? Mrs. Candles is being very sketchy right now. I don't know what she was doing, guys. Whatever she was doing, she quit the apps, which makes me think she may have just drained my bank account. I did get an email from an airline saying that there was a booked flight, an international flight. Is she trying to? I think Mrs. Candles might be trying to fleece me. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. She could have it. She's an amazing enough girl to just go ahead and take it. Take it all, Mrs. Candles. You deserve it more than I do. All right, let's see. So yeah, just be careful. You do have a LVG here, or as I like to call them, low volume gaps. Not an LGP. Okay, whatever. Gap. There we go. Bada boom. You do have a low volume gap sitting between, I would call it, 2151 to 1649. You must. I'll say this, right? These lows are important, but if you do come back down, which I'm not necessarily anticipating, but this 786 is going to be key. You lose that 786, very likely you come back into the teens here. So keep that in mind. And I'm actually just going to make this a little bit thinner to make it more clear. So there you go. Definitely going to be a low volume gap there. LVG. Bada boom. And then we can also pull a nice little volume profile here. And pull a local GP here. Let me get rid of this larger one just to clean things up. Let's get some key levels here. No real confluence there, to be honest with you. But shout out to Sonny. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says Solana to hit $1,000 by the end of the year. Hey, I would not hate that. I just bought a bunch of Solana. Let's see. Shout out to Shunzin. Says thanks guys for your answers. Shout out to Shunzin. I don't know what the question was, but shout out to the Mafia for supporting you. Let's go. Shout out to Creighton C. Said y'all better start smashing. He's so handsome, or no alts. Mrs. Candles. Shout out to Creighton C. I can't say that out loud. Yo, shout out to Creighton, man. I feel like Creighton is like a part of the show. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Yeah, so these would definitely be key levels. Let me go ahead and pull some. Let's see here. What can we work with? We got a daily level sitting right here. This would be important to keep an eye on. You also have, this is tapped. Oh, God, man. Look at this. Just barely front ran this daily. Let me see here. Let's pull up that 4-hour real quick. Spawn the volume profile. So this would be a key zone in my opinion, right? Why is that, right? Well, it's the value area high. On top of that, you have the 786 and the daily, right? So if you do pull back, honestly, just the value area high daily is probably what I'd look at. So yeah, I mean, just very simply put, right? When you break out of a value area high, that value area high is going to be an important support resistance flip. Why is that, right? Well, because if we break down back below this value area high, chances are, if you get accepted back in here and can't break back out, you're probably going to go back down towards that value area low POC, right? But you do have this nice daily level right here. So I'll just give you the levels on this. Come on. Let me just check for weekly naked points of control. So this would also be key. Weekly MPOC. Turn that off. I'm getting emails now. Mrs. Candles did something fishy. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Sounds like an order confirmation email is what it sounds like. Let's see. So yeah, this would definitely be an area of interest for me. Daily, weekly naked point of control, value area high, right? So if we do come back down there, it's important to hold this, right? You lose it, probably going to come down to this daily level at 28.64. You lose that, I will definitely be looking at that POC value area low as support. You lose that, you're at danger of a bigger drop for sure. So based off that low volume gap, obviously. 786 right at the bottom of that. Yee, look at this. Yeah, this is definitely, yeah. These are the levels for sure. You lose this, very likely to come to the daily value area low golden pocket. Once you lose that golden pocket, probably a quick move down to that 786. Those are the key levels for sure. So there you go. There is, and let me pull up Market Cipher really quick. Green dot on the daily. So I would say, probably a somewhat of a significantly, somewhat of a high chance off that daily green dot that you may be able to get a move to the upside. In which case, next stop, in my opinion, would be this, specifically this Fibonacci extension. Also, this one up here at 63, but $53 to $58 could come in for our weave if we do wind up coming back up into this zone, right? So next target on this, if we continue up, will be between 58.51 and 53.21. And there you go. Giving it all away for free. Shout out to the CandleMafia. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's continue on. Shout out to Mark Dutch. What's up, bro? Shout out to you. I think he's talking about like the meme coin shills. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Solana. Come on, baby. And here we are, right? On Solana, what we were looking at recently was the fact that obviously we wanted to hold this blue box, right? But we also had this inverse head and shoulders, very, very, very similar to Bitcoin. But the idea here was as long as we were able to hold specifically above this POC, we could keep that move up into and towards that value area high. And we are also in that situation where you have the POC and the value area low very close to the bottom of the range, right? So again, that makes not our value area low the key level, but the POC is the key level to stay above. Once you stay above it, that is where we will look for the bigger move, again, towards that value area high. But we also have to understand we have this old range, which has some pretty decent confluence with the golden pocket and the 786 with the POC and value area low. So these are going to be other key levels to watch. Yeah, I mean, you have a daily level in here as well, technically. Right? So you have confluence here. But the next target for this, if we continue up, in my opinion, is going to be this level right here. Right? And then once you get above this, obviously you work your way up to that local POC, local value area high. But at the end of the day, you're just looking at these, right? These levels are just intermediary turbulence, potentially, if we don't get the hard rejections, in our journey to get to that value area high, right? So keep that in mind. And I mean, we do have a daily level. Actually, let me see if we have weeklies anywhere. I mean, you definitely have weeklies up here, but I won't even mark those out. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's tapped. Technically, have a daily right here. But yeah, for the most part, this is your volume profile that I would be looking at, right? And as long as we hold above that value area low in POC, I would expect a journey to that value area high, and then intermediary levels would be sitting at 186.16 and 173.34. So there you go. Other than that, fresh green dot here on the daily. 90-minute money flow kind of wonked out here. Like, was in the green, came back into the red, but ideally, if we can get that money flow on the 90-minute back into the green, we could expect a bigger move to the upside. So there you go. And then taking a look, same thing on Bitcoin, right? Some of these higher time frames, 4-day green dot confirmed. Nice little trigger wave there as well. No true anchor, to be honest, on that 4-day. But you do have a nice tight trigger wave there. See 6-day VWAP coming up, 5-day VWAP also looking for a green dot. So we get these higher time frame green dot, guys. I do think it's very likely that we come up to those value area highs on a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of it looks very similar. But again, you have to understand, right? Money flow on the daily in the red, although we got this push up. I mean, it's kind of one of those scenarios again, right? I mean, this is an 11% pump on Solana, but like even Bitcoin, right? I have found out, right? I have figured out that really like 5% is the number that people like lose their minds over, right? Like if we pump 5%, everyone is like, the bull runs back on. And then if we dump 5%, people are like, oh my God, is the bull market over? And you know, in the grand scheme of things, right, this is not that I mean, it's a pretty big move, right? Pretty decent move, I should say. But just because we got this pump does not mean, right? Because remember, if we let me pull up a clean chart here real quick. If we pull some fibs here, right? Let's go from this high to the low. Well, we broke that 786, but if we pull back that old fib here, this is the golden pocket retracement. We have a 786 here. Like, just because we pumped here does not mean that we can't continue down. Now, granted, we have the inverse head and shoulders. Money flow is starting to go back in the right direction. But there is, like, I like to caution people when you see a big move up like this, right? Like, these happen all the time on Bitcoin, right? And sometimes they mean nothing, right? Like, a lot of people probably thought that this was like, oh, my God, we're going up to $1 million. I took a short up here. And I'm not going to lie. It is very rare that we get, like, trolls in the chat. But I don't even know if they were trolls. But on this move up, right, I believe we longed this as well. When I was talking about shorting this POC at $67,000, a lot of people in the chat were like, this guy's an idiot. Bull market's back on. We're going to $1 million. And this was a 13% pump, right? So people were really feeling bullish here. But if you don't understand how the market moves and the context of these actual pumps and dumps, you have to understand that just this move up, even a 13% move up, does not mean, like, people just think that this means that the market is going to rip. That is not what it means. This was simply a retracement, right? When we pulled this fib live on the stream, right, this was simply, come on, get out of here, pop up. This is simply a retracement into a golden pocket. And everybody is like bull drunk on this big move up, right? And we longed it, right? But we understand that this does not just mean that this is up forever, right? And if a 5% move causes people to think that, obviously the 13% moves makes people like really mad that you're saying you're going to short here. Like, people are like, this guy's an idiot. He's saying it's going down. But it's just simply because we understand market structure. We understand how the market moves. You get a move up, a retracement back to the upside, and a lower high. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Kind of wonked out there. But that is like, it's not just green candles means up, right? And this is very important if you want to not only be a trader, but if you're looking for longer term buy opportunities, like, it's important to understand this stuff as well. So just because we got this pump up does not mean necessarily, now I will say, a break of $67,000 like would be a little more bullish in my opinion. And again, money flow is headed in the right direction. We have the inverse head and shoulders. We could easily see this continue up, but it doesn't just mean like, oh my God, we're off to the moon, right? Because we could technically, we could technically still come down here, right? Bada boom, right? We still could reject here. Like, it doesn't mean that we're just up forever. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, let's see. You guys are funny. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, great, you're cracking me up right now, bro. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said at Moji, we know you're a scam, right? But thanks for paying for dinner. At This Is Candles, you're getting nuggies and salad tonight, thanks to Moji. I think Moji's like showing a meme coin. But Anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Creighton C. Keeping the Mafia safe when Frankie Candles is distracted by the charts. Shout out to Creighton C and Dave Digital policing the Mafia and keeping you guys safe, or keeping your money safe at least. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Gary Tablet, said Pyth would make my day. Well, shout out to Gary Tablet. I'll tell you this, brother. I'm not much of an iPad guy, but I'm just kidding. I have an iPad mini. I use it every single day, and I absolutely love it. But shout out to Gary. Lucky for you, I like making people's days. It's like my favorite thing to do ever is make people's days. So I'm not saying I'm definitely going to look at it, but I'm just saying might make your day today. Not right this second, but just stick around for a sec, and we'll take a look. But anyway, let's take a look at WIF. Speaking of meme coins, let's take a look at WIF. Bada boom, bada bing. Speaking of meme coins, how is that Monkeys coin doing, right? Wasn't that supposed to be like the next Doge, right? And that would like the last thing everybody was screaming about being the next Doge. Let's see. I don't even remember which one it was. I love this. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, let's continue on. Taking a look at WIF. Definitely a meme coin that is a little different than, WIF has a little bit of traction here at least. Let's go ahead and see. Actually, can I do a little selfish quick check on COQ? Okay, that was selfish. I'm sorry, guys. Let's continue on. Taking a look at WIF. Do we have a running WIF chart? Let's check it. This is crazy. Talk about a golden pocket retracement. Whee! Bing bong. Just absolute ripper. I wish I was looking at this at the time. But anyway, let's see. Do we have a newer WIF chart is the question. All right, let's take a look here. Let's pull up the VPVR. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, you guys are crazy. Okay. Yo, I don't know what you guys are talking about in chat right now, but I'm here for it. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this volume profile. And yeah, so obviously, we all know, quick move up leaves a gap, right? Now, this obviously makes these lows very, very important. If we lose these, you're at risk of falling through that gap. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it is worth realizing, right? Especially if you're new to the charts. But let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and pull. Let me pull this fib right hither. Almost tested the 786 there. Okay. Let's pull a volume profile right quick. Bada boo. I'll pull it from here. Okay. So let's see. I don't hate this range. Deviation, fake out. This is very rare. Fake out, bounce, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the high. Deviation from the high, back to the low. Deviation from the low, back to the high. Right? So this is being respected. And right now, you are fighting that POC pretty hard, to be quite honest with you. Let's come on over to the daily. Yeah, so you are trying to fight to get back above that POC. Money flow on the daily, right? This is not my opinion. This is bearish, right? It doesn't mean that price is going to dump, but this is binarily going to make you anticipate a continued trend to the downside, right? Now, can we get that money flow to skirt back up and cross back over into the green? Absolutely. But just looking at this, we have to understand that this is bearish, right? Money flow crossovers into the red, especially on the daily, is going to make you anticipate a further move to the downside, but does not guarantee it, right? Especially with where we are in the market. If Bitcoin gets a fake out on the daily, you could bet your bottom dollar that WIF is probably going to follow. Unless ETH dumps, which we all know has a pretty big gap. Pretty big gap all the way down to, 20 into the 2600s, right? But this would definitely be the key levels I'd be looking at on WIF. I'll give you the levels, right? Just be cautious. This is never financial advice. I'm just some crazy guy that screams into the camera on YouTube. Always remember that and never forget. Bada boom. Bada bing. There we go. Yeah, so to be honest, I would just be looking at this in the context of this volume profile. We rejected the high, and we are now flirting with the POC. If we lose this POC, you're definitely at risk of coming down back to the value area low. If we pull this fib, yeah, you actually have a nice little confluence here on your value area low, 786. So If you get a move down here, I don't even know how interested I would be in the golden pocket. I would much rather get a move to that 786 before looking for a long back up to the high. Now, let me actually just take out that. I'm going to remove this golden pocket just so we can get a clear view here. All right, so this would be key in my opinion. You also, never mind, you don't have a daily down there. Do you have a weekly? No weeklies. Okay, so for the most part, to be quite honest with you, shout out to Dave Digital, I would just be looking at the context of this range. I wouldn't really be looking for a fresh long unless we came down here. And if you break above that, if you remain above the POC, look for the high, break out of the high. I would be cautious of a return back into the range because here's the thing, guys, right? If money flow was about to cross into the green here, I would probably be looking at this flip of the POC as extremely bullish for a big move to the upside. But we have money flow coming out, right? Which would make me a little bit more cautious. But let's check that 12-hour money flow. 16-hour green dot. Yeah. I don't really feel that comfortable. There's nothing really screaming. What's up with this? Nothing really screaming like long or short right now. But I would just look at this in the context of this volume profile. Key level to the downside going to be 234. And then your key level of resistance, to be quite honest with you, do we have any kind of confluence here? Let's see. Come on. Come on. There we go. Bada boom. Let's check this high. Yeah, I guess you do from this little lower high. Do you have some kind of confluence here? That would be key resistance in my opinion. Shorts, yeah. So this is what I'd be looking at. I would just be trading this as a range. If you break above that 786, in my opinion, that's the level that would make it more likely to get a fake out on that money flow crossover on the daily and just see new all-time highs, to be quite honest with you. You also kind of have that inverse head and shoulders, sort of, not really actually. But that's what I'd be looking at. 786 at 376 is your key level of resistance that you flip. That would call for a bigger move to the upside. Other than that, I'd be looking at this as a range. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Dave Digital says, did you know Anheuser-Busch allows employees? Interesting. Shout out to Dave. Interesting. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Creighton says, Frankie does free TA and gives stuff away. This is basically all he does. So selfish. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to the Salty Biscuit. What is going on, brother? Says, speaking of giving away stuff, Salty Biscuit, winner of our $1,200 Bitcoin giveaway. Shout out to Salty Biscuit. Says lots of liquidity sitting at 319. All right, above the highs. All right, shout out to Salty Biscuit. All right, let's continue on here and take a look at VeChain. Shout out to all the vets out there and veterinarians as well. Shout out to my sister, who is much smarter than me and amounted to be a vet. And I'm just some guy screaming on YouTube. Shout out to my sister. I'm just kidding. Well, not really. But anyway, let's continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. I would take a look. Ugh, this is gross. All right, wait. Where's our VeChain chart? Hang on. We have a VeChain chart. We actually have. I have personally not looked at VeChain in quite some time, to be quite honest with you. Shout out to VeChain, the official blockchain of the UFC. Shout out to the UFC fans out there. Oh, that's why. There we go. Where is it? Is it a Coinbase chart? Where is my VeChain chart? Why has everything disappeared? There it is. Oh, whoa, hey. Oh, hold on a second. I wish I knew the last time we looked at VeChain, but here we are. Not going to lie. I know we haven't looked at VeChain in quite some time, unless I'm tripping. But not all the time it follows your line, but here we are. I love finding old TA. And we are getting the bounce. That is nice to see. Daily green dot, no bullish divergence. That is actually not the best look. Not that it's not a good look, but I would have loved, if this was a bullish divergence, if we had this daily bull div, I guess you do have a daily bull div. Let's pull up LuxAlgo. LuxAlgo will just call it for you. Yeah, so we do have a, yeah, I mean, you have lower lows on your price action. You technically do have a bull div here into your key level, which I guess we found a long time ago. I'll be honest with you. It's definitely based off this POC 786 value area high confluence. LuxAlgo pointing out that bullish divergence for you guys. Nice and automatically, shout out to the new analysts in the chat looking to learn TA. LuxAlgo, one of the channel sponsors, is a great tool to use, at least if you're looking to spot those bullish and bearish divergences. You can see we spotted one right here, marked out by this gold line. Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your oscillator. Big old dump to the downside. And now we are getting a daily bullish divergence, potentially looking for a move to the upside off this key level of support. So there you go. This could potentially give us a bounce. I really wish I knew the last time we did VeChain, because like maybe I'm just tripping. It was the other day and we just traced this line, but I'm pretty sure it's been a while. But sometimes it takes a month to get down to your key level and put in that bullish confirmation. So if we see this bull div continue to play out, you actually do. Let me go ahead and pull a fib here real quick. Let's see. Doom. Okay, let me see. Let's pull it from here to the low. Yeah. So, you know, we have this golden pocket. Let me just actually hide this fib real quick. We have this golden pocket 786 retracement with the smart trail coming in pretty close, right? So if we do continue on here, could wind up finding resistance in this zone here between about, you know, 0.039 and about 0.0412. Right? You have the confluence of that smart trail. And typically when you're below that smart trail, it will continue, especially a daily smart trail. When you're below it, it will act as resistance. So you got to watch out for those lower highs to come in, especially when it lines up with a golden pocket 786 Fibonacci retracement like it does right here. But there you go. That bull div on the 4 hour does not look too shabby. Let's check the 8 hour real quick. No bull div on the 8 hour. I would have liked to see that. 10 hour, 12 hour. 16 hour. Okay, interesting. I don't know why. Let's see. I bet you. Let me see here. Let me pull into these settings real quick. Can I change? Yeah, I can't change if it's on the wick or not. But you do have somewhat of a bullish divergence down here. It's not the strongest, but check the 2-day. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a continued bounce here, to be honest with you. You have money flow coming up on LuxAlgo. On the, it actually doesn't look too pretty. I will say, daily bull div likely to give you another bounce. I would just be careful. It's not like even if you check back. Yeah, I would just be careful in this zone right here. Between these two numbers, right? That's going to be key resistance. And what happens if I extend this volume profile? Do we get confluence? Please give me the confluence. Not really. Okay, yeah. So if we do continue up, not possible to get a move up to this zone, but I'd be very careful in this zone right here on VeChain. Bull div can push you up, but be careful. Be very careful. Yeah, you have a daily level on that as well, making it even stronger in my opinion. So you do have confluence here. Be careful on that golden pocket smart trail. Somewhat, yeah. I mean, like even you come down to lower time frames, like beautiful confluence there. So if I were long from this bull div, which I'm not, but if I were, I would probably be taking serious profits in this zone right here. Again, that zone comes in between 0.041 and 0.039. There you go. There's VeChain for you guys. Shout out to LuxAlgo if you guys want to check out these smart trails and all the other 465 billion features that they offer in their premium indicator suites. Check out the link in the description down below. You could save some money, and they also give a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're just looking to get into a new indicator. Check it out. One of my favorites for sure. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Dave Digital said, chats that you want Frankie Candles to read are like a pass in football. Timing is everything, and good ones lead the receiver. Shout out to Dave Digital. That's really funny, bro. Because, like, yeah, I try to read as many chats as I possibly can. Did you guys just hear me crack my back? That was crazy. It was just like, my whole spine just cracked. Yeah, it's like I only look at once in a while. But yeah, it definitely is timing is everything with the chats. I do scroll up oftentimes, though. Yo, Salty Bitcoin. Hey, he said he was offended that I didn't say the salty Bitcoin. Shout out to the salty biscuit. I'm just getting to know you too well. I don't mess up your name anymore. Shout out to you, bro. But let's go ahead and check out. Shout out to Gary Tablet. Speaking of remembering stuff, shout out to Gary Tablet. Hopefully you're still in here, bro, because we're gonna try to make your day. Take a look at Pyth. Speaking of making days, guys, I'll be honest with you guys. I had a horrible day today. Bad day. Bad day. People are like, Frankie Candles, you're so happy and positive all the time. Like, do you ever get pissed off? Or do you ever have a bad day? Answer to that, guys, is absolutely. I had a horrific day today. Ask Tony D. I'm probably a nightmare to deal with when I'm in a bad mood. But Tony D is an absolute saint. But yeah, I have rough days as well. I'm a normal person. Hang on, guys. Someone's banging outside my window. Hang on. I don't know what's going on, guys. Something's going on out in my backyard. I don't know what it is, though. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Take a look at Pyth. Let's come up to the weekly. Man, is this all we got on Pyth? Okay, there we go. All right. What is that noise? There's something outside. Am I getting trolled? Is Tony D outside my house right now? Yo, Tony D said, relax, pal, you're fine. Guys, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. What the? Oh, I see. My neighbors are just outside popping balloons. Very interesting. Anyway, let's continue on here. Shout out to all the balloon poppers out there. Sounds like an insult. Oh, get out of here, you balloon popper. Oh, that guy? I hate that guy. He's such a balloon popper. I'm using that from now on. A balloon popper is a party pooper, guys. I just invented it on live stream. If you're ever calling someone a party pooper, don't call him a balloon popper because it sounds way more offensive. Yo, it's crazy. Anyway, shout out to Hodl Crypto. Shout out to oh God, I don't even want to try to sell Z. I'm gonna call you Z. He said, FBI, open up. That's what it sounds like. Shout out to you, brother. It's exactly what it sounds like. Make a meme coin out of B-Pop. Yo, B-Pop the meme coin. Let's go. But anyway, let's see. You darn balloon popper. Someone comes in. Frankie Candles is bearish. What a balloon popper. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, let's continue on here. I don't know what this... Where is this? Okay. I'm going to clear this chart. We're going to start nice and fresh. Shout out to Gary. Gary, you're in here? Gary, if you're in here, I'm going to go ham. I mean, yeah. Shout out to Gary. Gary, you chat right now. I'm going to go in and I'm going to give you a full... a lot of balloon popping on the south side of Chicago. That's so... Shout out to Greg. That's crazy. But anyway, shout out to Hodl Crypto. Thanks for the shout out. Hodl, you are a huge part of this family. I will shout you out every single day from now on. Shout out to Hodl Crypto one more time. Do it, Gary. Oh, there he is. Gary's here. Let's go. All right, we're doing full analysis here on Pyth. And so stick around. Here we go. First off, I'm going to come on over to the monthly. I'm going to turn off the naked points of control, and I'm just going to mark out the monthly levels. This is like a little tutorial here. End of stream tutorial here, guys. This is how I mark up my charts. Basic, right? Basic. I'm not going to go into the advanced stuff. But simply put, this is something anybody can do, right? With no indicators, no nothing, right? Monthly, horizontal, right? This is, to mark these out, I simply look, and here I am having a hard time finding pre-record content. I just do it on the live stream. But here we go, right? This will be a monthly level of resistance, right? You see how the bodies close evenly right here? Showing a inability to break the level, right? We broke above it, closed below. Broke above it, closed right on the level, right? This is a monthly level of resistance, right? And in that same kind of manner, you have a monthly level of support, right? So typically, I would organize this. I would put this into a folder and label it monthly, but I'm not going to do that, at least past this point, just because it's going to take a lot of time. But typically, I will. That way, I could just look at my monthly levels, turn them on and off. Makes it very simple to look at the TA. But I'm not going to do that for now because it's going to take a lot of time. Then I can mark, I'm only going to mark the relevant levels as well, right? So we have this weekly level right here. So I'll label that weekly. And do we have a weekly level of support anywhere close? And you can see we have a weekly level right here, very, very close to where we're at right now. So if we get another push down, this would be a very key level to watch. And then I typically will look at the dailies as well, right? So I'll mark these out. We have a daily level right here. We have a daily level right here. And then let me just label this daily, right? We have another daily level right here. And we have another daily level, which we are bouncing off of right now, right? Look at the significance of these levels, right? So if I were looking at the 4 hour or something, I'd be looking and be like, hey, do I have any high time frame levels that I could look to come into here? I do. I have a daily, and I know just below it I have a weekly, right? And then you can pull up your indicators and be like, hey, are we putting any bullish divergences in here? Like literally, guys, like here you go, little mini course. Lower lows on price action, right? Now, this is not all I like to see to enter the trade, but simply put, what's happening here? You know you have a high time frame key level. Price comes down, puts a lower low in, right? And now you have your oscillator making higher lows. You can even look at Lux Algo. Automatically marks it out for you. Shout out to Lux Algo, link in the description. So if you don't really know what you're looking at, right, and you're just learning, this is a great way to kind of try to say, hey, I'm entering into a key level. I have a bullish divergence. And you can even see there's a significant reversal signal here. You can't just trade this as a buy-sell, but it does also kind of confirm that you may get a reversal here, right? And then you can make a trading decision based off that, right? And just to run through that in bar replay mode, just to like really kind of hammer this whole point home, come back a little further, right? You are looking at your chart and you're saying, hey, should I long here? Price is dumping. Is this the bottom? Well, you're not really coming to a key level, right? And knowing that you have this key level here, which is a daily, this would be a level that I would typically mark out with a green box, right, or a blue box saying, hey, if I come into this level, and people always ask me what confirmations do you look for. In this case, you could look for these confirmations. I'd say, hey, this is my key level. I'm not going to long here, right? We have this key level down here. Very likely we come tap that. And if we do, I'm going to look for some kind of a confirmation to look for a long, right? Even looking at the 4 hour, something like that, you could try to figure out, hey, is there a possibility of getting some kind of a bullish confirmation down here? Maybe, but I have to wait to hit the level, right? I'm not getting into some wish-washy trade here because I feel bullish or I feel like someone said the price is going up, right? I'm simply going to stick to my plan, wait for the key level to come in. Price pushes down. Okay, am I longing? No, I have not hit my key level. Boom, now we're starting to get close. Still haven't hit it. Boom, now we're hitting the key level. And now what do I have here? Well, hey, it looks like this right here, although we are getting a reversal signal here, but this is also a higher low. I can already see this may form a bullish divergence, at least on the 3 hour time frame, right? So I can already kind of front run this, right? Maybe this is going to maybe this is going to form a bullish divergence, right? And then you could see, if you wanted to, you could wait for more confirmation. But boom, there you go. Now you're printing the bull div, right? Now, obviously, if you front ran it, you would have got a better entry, but understand front running will come with a lot more risk. But as you can see, you have a bullish divergence. And now you can say to yourself, right, you're not just going to long it to $1 million, but you can enter your trade here. And I mean, to be honest, you have your smart trail up here, right? So you would want to be pretty careful. But, this is where you can enter your position and see, hey, maybe I'll get a move to the upside. Boom. And then you get a move to the upside. And not only did you get the move to the smart trail, which is kind of the first TP, would be the first take profit for me, but then you broke it and you would have paid out even further, right? And that, I like to see more than just those confirmations, but that's just like a little look into how I mark up the chart and how I find the key levels and what I look for to potentially enter trades. Now, I do like to find more confirmations than just that, but hey, shout out to the clapper of cheeks. I'm going to get to that in a second. Shout out to you, bro. I did not know that. Something you definitely want to take into consideration. But there you go, right? And Lux Algo makes it somewhat easy to see, or makes it very easy to see those bullish divergences. But again, I want to be clear. You can't just trade bullish divergences. But, that's just general theory. You come to a key level, that would be considered a bullish confirmation, and then you get to move to the upside. And I also like these little reversal signals as well. So there you go. It is a premium indicator, right? We have our free Lux Algo indicator that can help you find those divergences as well. If you're interested in that, just search my name in your TradingView indicator section, right? I do this every day. Just type in Frankie Candles. and you could use my souped up volume profile with not hidden, but automatic Fibonacci levels, automatic divergence detection, etc. But that's 100% free. This is premium, but like I said, they do 30-day money-back guarantees. Check it out. I don't just do this because we're sponsored by the channel. This is simply something that I genuinely use. I don't use the divergence detector as much because I can see the divergences myself, but I know that could be helpful for a lot of beginners. But a lot of this other stuff I do use all the time. I talk about it on the live stream constantly. So there you go. But other than that, let's go ahead and turn off the indicators and continue on here. So you have that key. So now you know context, right? We've bounced off the daily. We put in the bullish divergence, right? Money flow on market cipher B is starting to come up. It's not the most beautiful. 1 hour money flow starting to come up with your 16-hour green dot confirmed. So ideally, we want to see this higher time frame money continue to scoot to the upside. 12 hours kind of wonky, to be honest. 8 hour curving up. So you want to see this money flow really start to round off a little bit more. But if you do get a move to the downside, what do you know now? Well, you have this weekly down here. Well, what can you do with that weekly, right? Well, yeah, let's see. Yeah. I mean, I guess technically this is a daily bull div, right? Take a look at the daily. Yeah, I mean, technically this would be a daily bull div. But either way, if you get a move back down, right, that weekly level, that weekly level is sitting there at 37 cents, almost 38 cents. So if you get another move down, that would be a key level to look at. Maybe look at similar confirmations that we just looked at for a potential bounce, right? But again, just because you get that move up doesn't mean you're just praying for it to moon, right? This is a trade, right? You're looking at this in terms of a short-term trade, at least in this case, right? Because money flow is not really that beautiful. But if you saw that entry, right, on the 3 hour with that bull div, right, money flow was looking really good and things looked really bullish on the higher time frames, then maybe you can use that information to give yourself an educated decision to hold the trade for longer. Right? And then that's how you could turn these little day trades into absolute monster swing trades. So there you go. Other than that, I would be a little bit, careful. Money flow still coming out on the daily. Even though you have a double green dot here, you really got to start seeing this money flow come up. And to be honest, kind of had the opposite here with like a regular head and shoulders formation. But other than that, pull up that VPVR. Yeah, that weekly level is going to be key. Other than that, I mean, I don't know if you're really going to break down all the way. Just pull that to here. Yeah, you want to hold this. You want to hold that weekly. You lose that weekly, you may be in for a little bit of a ride here on Pyth. But those are the key levels. Hopefully that helps you out. No real higher time frame. Like even this, like I can't really pull a volume profile on this because it's just trending down. So yeah, I mean, this has just been in a downtrend for quite some time. But that's what I'd be looking at on Pyth. You really need this money flow to start coming up if you want to see another move up. Like even this money flow is starting to come back out with a red dot printing. Yeah, 45-minute money flow. I will say this. Yeah, I don't know. No real clear signals, but those are definitely the key levels. Shout out to Gary. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. And that's what I'd be looking for on Pyth. Really no trade to be had for me, to be quite honest. So there you go. Watch that weekly at 40 cents. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. It's getting hot in the kitchen. Shout out to Hodl Crypto. Hopefully that helps some people out. That's just basically how I run through my charts, and I simply mark them up. Now, obviously, I do other forms of analysis that are a little bit more advanced. We go over this in the premium Discord a little bit more. Things such as order flow, even the naked points of control on exo charts. We go into some more, more advanced stuff on in the Discord. But why is this so? Oh, I was backtesting stuff last night. That's why this is so far behind. I was just running through bar replay mode. But that is that is what we're looking at on Pyth. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Feels a little bit like I don't know. I feel like that wasn't great analysis, but it's just kind of in a weird spot right now. It's hard to find any kind of context as far as Pyth. But those are the key levels. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. That's all the altcoins. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us and sticking around till the end of the live stream as my chair just sinks me down. You know what? You're always trying to bring me down. You're always trying to bring me down. Look at me when I talk to you. Anyway. With all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for the live stream tonight. Thank you all for sticking around till the end. Shout out to all 636 of you guys. Didn't get the 750 likes, unfortunately, but we'll go for it again tomorrow, which, by the way, tomorrow is Tony D's birthday. Shout out to Tony D. He's probably like, man, Frank didn't remember my birthday. Oh, we know, bro. Oh, we know. Shout out to Tony D. Wish him an early happy birthday. And with all that being said, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Baylor. Baylor 2 times. And yo, shout out to who said it? It was like Vital, I think. Vital was the name. Said or someone said Frank smash. Oh no, Vital said Frankie, I must say you're the most likable trader I know. Keep it up, legend. Shout out to Vital, I appreciate you. But someone said smash the like button. John F said smash the like button for Frankie Four Fingers, and I love when people call me Frankie something. Frankie Bag of Donuts, Frankie 2 times, Frankie Candles, right? That's literally how I got my name. My whole life has just been Frankie something. Everybody calls me Frankie something. Frankie the Chooch, whatever. But shout out to John F. and Vital. But shout out to Baylor 2 times, said what indicator, what Lux Algo indicator is that with the automatic divergence detection? This is Lux Algo Premium Oscillator, or Lux Algo Oscillator Matrix, right? Part of Lux Algo Premium. I will drop the link in the chat for you guys if you want to check that out. Like I said, if you use our link, actually, no, I don't believe. I think they have deals going on. I don't know if you save money with our link. Tony D actually knows. But yeah, go ahead and check that out if you guys are interested. They have a bit, it's like, I mean, I got time here. There's so many features on here. Like, I have videos on the channel going over all of this stuff, but there are so many different features. I'm just going to turn a lot of them on. Like I said, I have tutorials on how to use it. I wouldn't recommend using them all at the same time like this, but just to give you an idea of, like, how much stuff is on this indicator that you can kind of pick and choose. I recommend you pick and choose what you like. They even have, like, bullish reversal signals here. Here's a really cool thing. I'll go through this with you guys for Lux Algo real quick. My favorite thing on signals and overlays, like my personal template, I use the Smart Trail. Let me actually change it like this, right? So I use the, actually let me turn off the price actions concepts, but Lux Algo signals and overlays, the Smart Trail on top of the bullish reversal, reversal signals, right? And the bullish and bearish exits. This is really cool. What this does is, now, I would never, ever recommend you guys just trade these as buy and sell signals. That is simply not what they are, right? They are confirmation signals, right? You're not just trading based off these reversals, but I'll pull up a higher time frame just because it's a little more palatable. But simply put, right? I've been told by the team at Lux Algo that with these buy signals, right, or these bullish confirmation signals, you see these blue X's. These are letting you know, right? These are called bullish exit, right? Where's it? Bullish exit signals, right? So basically what that says is, and there are 3 of these per each buy reversal confirmation, right? So you get a bullish reversal confirmation. You're anticipating a move to the upside, right? And then these bullish exits are letting you know, like, hey, this might be a good place to take profit, right? And there's 3 per each signal, apparently. So you get it, you would get in, right, based off this, not based off this, but this would be a confirmation, right? And then once you start seeing this will let you know, like, hey, might not be a bad time to take profit, might not be a bad time to take profit. And then, this was a shorter move, so you didn't get a take profit. But then this one, right, you get a take profit. And then, if you see, like, Sean from Luxalgo told us that there's 3 of these per each signal, right? So when you start to see 3 of them, these 2 are technically based off this. This one is technically based off that. So this is a separate confirmation. But simply put, these are take profits, right? If you're long from here, maybe take profit here, maybe take profit here. Then you get a reversal. You get another confirmation to go up, right? That will be a take profit. And then not too short after you get a big reversal, right? Maybe I can pull it up on a smaller time frame to get a little bit more of a tangible example. So here you go, right? Reversal, take profit, you get a little bounce. Sell confirmation, take profit, you get a little bounce. And then you kind of got chopped up here just a little bit. But it's pretty cool. They have like a bazillion. They also have reversal, the Luxalgo reversal zones. I like to clean things up, right? I like to keep things nice and simple, right? So I like to keep things nice and clean. So if I took off the smart trail, you could look at the reversal zones, right? Typically, this is like they're not like Bollinger Bands, but I would treat them similar to Bollinger Bands, right? If you're up in the reversal area and maybe you're getting a bearish divergence, you can look for a little scalp to the downside, right? And you can see that bearish confirmation right here with the divergence in that reversal zone, right? You get a little move down, and then yeah, they're just basically like reversal zones, right? You come in, you usually get rejected. You come down, you usually get a bounce. And obviously, again, you're not just shorting when you're in the reversal zone because these things can change. But they just have a million different things. I have videos on the channel going more deep into it. I'm going to be able to explain it in 5 minutes. But yeah, I highly recommend go checking them out. And if you could try them out for 30 days for free, I don't really see the downfall. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got. Little Luxalgo sauce here at the end of the stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking around. Smash that like button. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll.